is going on, guys? It is your boy Seso here. Brings a Photoshop tutorial today. Brings a cool simplistic video design tutorial here today. Last one I did was like a month ago. One of my favorite series to do on this channel. It's like, I feel like a freaking broken record. I say this all the time, but it's one of you guys' favorites as well. And it's like always like it does the best on my channel. So I love bringing you guys these little cool simple things to do, and they look really, really dope and really sick. So the concept of this tutorial today is actually like basically making the background look super just like sleek, and like it's just such a different look for a background without using like, you know, overlay or like luminosity with like a black background kind of thing, what I usually go for, right? So I just kind of like wanted to try out something different, and I think this looks freaking like dope, sexy, clean, like all the above, right? Like the D and like the multiple choice, you know what I mean? Okay, or E, depending if you're in college. So yeah. And like the picture itself looks freaking dope in like all different areas. Like this, I'm gonna switch the picture in a second. So this is without the picture, of course, and this is with another different picture. And the concept kind of like stays the same, or the feel of the banner design stays the same, no matter what the background is. And that's a really cool part. So I usually use like landscapes and stuff like that for my designs and stuff. So when I do like a nice little picture or something, I just like landscapes. I feel like landscapes are just like this really like staple for simplicity and things like that. I don't know, I'm weird like that, so I kind of like landscapes a lot. So like as you can see though, it does look really freaking dope, and we have these little accent lines to kind of correspond with like maybe the little aurora effect that I did as well, but it just looks a little bit different. I actually set it up a little bit more different as well. The text itself is very simple, basic, and it's just a very clean little white, pink, and dark blue color scheme. So I'm actually going to do this right now. 2 likes on the video equals a second down below, which will basically get basically get a pre-made of this actual same exact thing you're looking at right now. Kind of already have it set up for you guys to change your picture already and stuff like that. So let's get going to today's tutorial. The only thing you're going to need is actual picture to use. I use mine. I just got mine from graphic stock, but you guys just basically type in landscape in Google, and pretty much you just make sure you change your search tools to size larger than 2 megapixels or 4 megapixels, because we're in a Twitter header dimension, which is 1500 by 500 pixels right here, right? So that's what I'm in. So if you guys are down, I'm down to start right now. Okay, so pretty much the first color that I'm going to be using, I'm going to use the same color scheme, the nice little blue with like hot pink, right? So the first blue that I'm using, my base blue color, is going to be the hex code 000713. Nice little dark blue. It looks really, really good. The reason I'm starting with a dark blue is because I'm going to use the simple overlay with white kind of like technique to actually give myself some cascading lines, or these really cool like little, you know, dope lines inside the actual banner design. So pretty much to do that is we're going to use the pen tool. So you're going to make a new layer. We're just going to call this the accent line. That way we can follow along. So pretty much pressing P on my keyboard for the shortcut for the pen tool, which is located over here. And all you got to do is click and drag. I'm gonna which way I'm gonna go? I think I'm gonna go like down. So I'm gonna go move my mouse toward the top right of my mouse pad. Get that nice little curve going down here. I'm gonna click once again without pressing Alt, because if you guys press Alt, it'll make a straight line. We want to keep that curve that we have going on here. We want to keep this little anchor point, and we're gonna click again, and I'm kind of like flatten this out a little bit. Maybe move this, holding Control, move that down a little bit as well. And I kind of want something like this. So I'm going to connect this really quick to show you guys kind of like what I want. So I connected it, make sure I'm going all the way around the actual canvas. And that way, when I press right click, fill, drop down, use white, it's going to fill this in just like so. This is kind of like what I'm looking for. A nice simple like curve going up, and then kind of flattening down, going back to the middle and going back down. Once you have that, you just change your blend mode from normal on your accent line layer to overlay. We're going to take our overlay layer, throw this down to like 45%. Or 50, or whatever you guys wish to. What I'm going to do right now is going to hold Alt and Shift. If you guys did not know already, Alt is your duplicated layer shortcut, and holding Shift will actually make it so that you can't move in a circle and like kind of mess up. If I wanted to like go straight up, you don't know if you went like, you know, 1 pixel to the left or 1 pixel to the right. So holding Shift while doing Alt will make sure that you're only moving up, and you're only moving up if you freaking go up, okay? It's like, it's not going to move any other direction. However, if you press Alt, Shift, and move left and right, it's only going to go left and right, but it's going to stay on the exact same pixel, and it's always going to be the same. So that's why I want to make sure you guys understand holding Alt and Shift is going to be your savior for doing something like this in this case. So make a nice little duplicate, going up, going up, just like so. I'm going to leave a pretty good amount of space. I would say maybe 20 centimeters, as you can see near my mouse, or 18, whatever. I think that's fine. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take my eraser, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply just erase from on the left side toward the right. I'm just going to give myself a nice little shade, which is basically going to take this line that we have, the duplicated line, and kind of like fade it into this like little area and kind of like, you know, play around with the background. So you can kind of see like these, of course, like these different tones of blue in the banner design. So I'm actually going to take my eraser and erase the top a little bit as well. Something like that, right? I'm going to take take the same exact original layer, hold Alt and Shift, make another duplicate. And I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to call this 2. That way we can follow along pretty easily. I'll call this 3. And pretty much just the third one, right? I'm going to take my eraser, and I'm going to go from the right this time and erase to the left, toward the left. And as you can see, we get a pretty nice look of different shades of blue. So we have a darker blue, like a nice little another tone of blue, another tone of blue, and then of course here as well. And of course, if you look toward the middle, it looks really, really dope. It looks really, really nice. And I'm going to set this off on another example, or another accent example. And we're just going to go ahead and start with the pen tool. And it's going to go like above halfway of the banner design, if you guys want to see. But a little above halfway, right? I'm going to go all the way over here. Take it, and I'm going to go around. And I'm just going to basically make myself a nice secondary accent that's going to be on the bottom left. It can be wherever the heck you guys want it to be. Change my blend mode from overlay to normal again. Or normal to overlay. 45% opacity. And I kind of want to change the direction with the pen tool. I kind of want to make it go up a little bit more and make it a little bit more. There we go. I think that looks better. It just looked too flat for me, right? Okay, and then overlay, 45%. And we're going to take a duplicate of that, so holding Alt. I'm going to move my mouse toward this way. And I'm going to go ahead and lower my opacity down just a little bit and maybe take the eraser and do that. Sure? No, I'm going to keep it just solid then. All right, there we go. Then we have our little simple accent lines. And this is going to set us off for a nice little, kind of like, I would say it's like almost a texture, but it's not a texture. It's just like a very simple, clean little like thing to do. So I like how it comes out. So right now I'm going to do is actually throw in that little hot pink that I have going on. The hot pink that I'm going to be using for today's tutorial is D23157 hex code. That way if you put that in your little box here, you get the same exact pink that I'm using. And pretty much on this new layer, I'm going to call this hot pink so you guys can know. We're going to change our blend mode from normal to hard light. I'm just going to do it right away. You can do it after you click. Either way, it's fine. Hard light. And I'm going to take a soft brush, use that hot pink. I'm just going to click somewhere like, just like that. Okay. I'm going to throw my opacity down to like maybe like 80%. And I think I'm good there. So this is basically the background part. Everything else is going to be more kind of like lighting and like color correction. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my new color correction here. I'm going to just show you guys what it's going to be. It's basically going to be exposure and brightness and contrast. So if you guys want to, you can do brightness and contrast first. We're going to do brightness and contrast first. I'm just going to put the exposure. I'm going to hide it for now because we're going to do that next. So brightness and contrast is going to take our brightness and our contrast, put them both to 95, just like so. Set us off a nice little color here. I'm going to throw this hot pink opacity down. And it's going to be a little different looking once I put the exposure on, because it's going to calm down all this like super high contrast, but it makes these accents lines look so much better. So what I'm going to do is take my exposure now, click here. I'm going to change my offset. So I'm going to change my last letter number to 9, and the gamma correction is going to be 0.90, and then I think I'm good there. Do I want to put this above this? I don't think I do. I can just lower the opacity down a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this at 80, but take my hot pink layer and put it above my my little contrast things that I did right there. And I think this is kind of how I want to have it. So there we go. I like how that looks. I'm going to throw my logo now. I have this my logo layer just hidden already. Just going to throw this stuff in really quickly. And I'm probably going to set up the text really quickly as well, just because I can get that out the way. And pretty much we're just going to make this a white logo. And we're going to go ahead and rasterize that. And pretty much for the text, what I did was I just pressed Seso HQ, or typed in Seso HQ. I used Agency FB bold. And what I also did was, we're going to take this and put it to like, what, not 50, 10? Sure, 10 will be a pretty good size. There we go. We can always change the text color if I need to a little bit later, but for now, graphic design will be the next thing I type in. Make it white as well. I can make it offset white, whatever works for you guys. I'm just going to use white just to make it quick. And pretty much It's kind of how I want it. And also, I also kind of set it up so that I actually had a little bit of a tilt going on with the text. So the way I did that was I grouped the two layers of text layers together by holding Control. Click on both of them, click Control and hold both of them, right? Or click both of them, and then you can press Control G to group them together. And this is going to be the text layer. Sure. And then I'm going to press Control T to free transform. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is right click and then go to skew. And I'm going to take the top right and just move it either like to the right or down, whichever way you guys want to go. I'm just going to go to the right because I wanted to make sure I wanted to like kind of put on a little bit of a slant. So I'm going to take this top right on skew and just move it just a little bit. And there we go. We kind of have like a nice little simple little aesthetic to the text, so it's not making it just boring and straight. And so there's that, right? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set up let's make sure everything's good. Okay, because this is our layer this is our example layer. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw in the actual, my image. So I'm going to take my image. You can either get it from, like I said, like Google it, but make sure the size is okay. Mine is going to be this one right here. And pretty much is the most like important part of the actual tutorial is actually setting up your layer. Your picture layer. I'm going to make sure, am I sizing it? I am. Okay. Just like that. And there we go. I like how that looks. So pretty much I'm going to throw this above my hot pink layer. And of course it's going to be below my text and my logo layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rasterize this layer right away. That way I can actually edit it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my blend mode from normal to divide. Now this is one of those like layer modes you're like, this looks disgustingly ugly, da-da-da-da. How would I fix this? Make it look, you know, like aesthetically pleasing to people to see and like actually understand or whatever. And this is kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to have this kind of style. I wanted to make it look like this because I thought it looked freaking dope and insane. But I was like, mentally, it just doesn't look right. It looks distorted, right? And so what I did was, you have to make sure you press Control U within this layer. I'm going to click on this layer. This is our picture layer. And make sure you click on this layer and then press Control U. This will bring up your hue and saturation, but it's not a hue and saturation like a brightness and contrast hue and saturation or like a free-handed adjustment. Like, it's not going to fix everything. It's going to be only applied to the picture, and that's what we want to make sure. So it's not a hue and saturation from here, just like that. No, it's not like that. It's like basically going to image adjustments and hue and saturation like this, and that way it's applied the same way. But that's just the shortcut is Control U while selecting on the picture. Now, to basically get rid of these like white lines, right? It looks very distorted. So the way I did it was I wanted to tone everything down just a tad bit. So I took my contrast, lowered it to the negative, and you do this for every single picture that you're doing. So I'm gonna put it about -45 or so contrast, and then it still looks kind of distorted. So I was like, how else would I even it out? Within hue and saturation, take your lightness and just throw this up to maybe about +10. And then you get a part where it looks better. It looks correct. It looks better than actually putting in a picture over this and putting it on an overlay, because it actually still has that depth and that really cool, just dope look to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my opacity here, put this to like 35%, and then basically we have a freaking dope looking like setup of the actual picture, and it looks really sick and really awesome. And what I'm gonna do actually as well, I'm gonna take another brightness and contrast above the picture, and we're gonna make sure that the light is still like really bouncing off there. So I'm gonna just take another brightness and contrast, throw my brightnesses up. I don't want to go down, I want to bring my brightness up. Maybe it's about 50, and my contrast up to about 50 as well. I think that looks good. I'm gonna lower my opacity though, actually, just a little bit, because I'll actually throw a curve in here as well. So I'm gonna do that right now. So I'm gonna throw a curve in here as well, a nice little simple S curve, right? There we go. And then also I'm gonna throw in a vibrance, and I'm just gonna throw my vibrance up just a little bit, maybe like 20, right? Just get a little bit more color out. Okay, and also to like kind of like finish off what I'm going on here, I'm gonna take another new layer, simple little white brush, and nice little soft white brush. Click one nice tile on the top, kind of like smooth everything out. Lower my opacity down to like 65 in that little light. We'll call this top light. And basically, we're almost done here. What I also want to do really quickly as well is like above all this kind of like the top light, I would say above the top light, take a new layer, and I like to do this is just take your pen tool, kind of follow along a certain part of these little I don't know what to call it, like concave lines. We're just gonna call it like accent lines, right? And like just like so, follow along. Just with your pen tool, make the same exact curve. I'm just gonna go around just like so, because we just want this curve to be the exact thing. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a new layer. As it's already made. It's already made. So right click, make selection. I'm gonna use that same hot pink. Low my brush. I'm gonna use a nice 0 hardness brush, soft brush, and just take my pink. Kind of do this, right? A nice, very simple, like, you know, soft, just following along this part on the top. Control D to deselect, and then as I already know, I'm gonna erase this a little bit because it's too hard of an edge. As I already know, I'm gonna change my blend mode from normal to hard light to get the same exact hot pink. Lower my opacity down, and maybe just don't make it as long like that, but like something like that would look pretty good. Right, I'm gonna do the same thing over here if I want. I'll put it on the same layer just because it doesn't matter. Follow along the same exact curve. Go around, connect it, make selection, press OK, soft brush, and we'll just do something like that. Control D to deselect, and there we go. I'm actually gonna follow along this. Oops. Oh, I can't do that. I'll just pencil this out really quick. I want to move this down. That's what I want to do. Make selection, right click. I can just go layer via copy, move this down. I want it down here for sure. All right, there we go. Erase the little hard edge there, and now we have that nice color coming out now. And so far, it's looking really dope. I'm pretty sure we're like almost basically done in a way. Everything else after this is just kind of like, you know, what you kind of want to do with it. So I'm gonna just do a simple little brush, nice little white brush, and you can do something like this if you guys wish to. Kind of give it a little bit more texture. Looks pretty dope in my opinion. Maybe throw on an overlay or something like that. Or if I want to be like really cool and like, we'll just call this texture for a second. If I want to be really cool, just take like a pen tool and kind of like make, you know, different selections, not like something random like this, right? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out everything on this side. So it's going to be everything in here as well, and this is going to still stay white. Make selection. It's going to cut this out, so I'm going to do the exact same thing I did to actually move this layer. So make selection, right click, layer via cut. That way going to be two different things here. And what I can do is I can just take the side that I want. I'm going to take this side right here, put this on overlay, or some other cool blend mode. Who knows? Maybe like a that like makes everything like really vibrant or dark. Or ooh, I can have it on like maybe black, right? Black on one side and white on the other side. Lower the opacity on the normal over here. Kind of like have fun with it, right? We'll put this on overlay and then have that one be black on that side. It's just like little aesthetic things. If you guys want to do that, you guys could. And I did actually like end up putting Simplistic in the background with a Nexa bold, and I put it on 1.5. Take my little split. Make sure I split my words or my letters or extend my letters. There we go. Kind of like give them a little bit of space. And then I put it on overlay, put it behind everything. And that is what I did to get this really dope look in Simplistic. Oh, also, I made a new layer and did a nice little simple, take my rectangle marquee tool, right? And we're going to click, drag, and we're going to make a pretty big one and just throw a white in there and throw an overlay on top of that. Soft light now, overlay. And we're going to pretty much just drop this down a little bit. And there we go. We have that Simplistic look, and it looks really freaking dope. Like I said, try it with different pictures. It looks sick. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy your day. Do not forget to follow me on Twitter at SesoHQ for any cool little updates and whatnot. Don't forget to check out my Sellfy, sellfy.com/SesoHQ for any premiums and packs as low as $3. Check those out if you guys wish to. Also, you can purchase the Everything Pack. One purchase of $30 to get everything in my store that you see on the sellfy.com/SesoHQ store. Everything you see there. Also, anything that comes out on that store, you'll get emailed to you for free forever as long as I use Sellfy. So it's a pretty dope purchase. If you guys want to purchase it, go right ahead. Thank you guys so much for freaking watching. I don't think I missed anything, so it looks really dope. Of course, the more time you put in it, you know, the cooler it looks. You can take, you know, maybe like a final brightness and contrast and kind of like try to make it as dark and dope as you kind of want it, right? And then maybe like a hue and saturation, like a little bit of a change, like going down this way. Not too big of a change, right? And like, I don't know, maybe take like, click on the thumbnail of the hue and saturation, take your eraser, a soft brush eraser, and maybe give it a little bit different tones. If you guys can't really see it that well, it would be like this. And you kind of see like different tones, different multiple colors, if you guys find like a really nice color scheme in the hue and saturation or something like that. So, Thank you guys so much for freaking watching. Talk to you guys later. Seso, you out. Peace.